to week 4. We are over the halfway point of this course. Let me share my screen and we will go over the week 4 overview and readings page. So I have 3 things that I would like you to take a look at this week. The first is a list of supplementary resources. Now, I've been referring to this list of resources for the past couple of weeks, and now here it is. And this is actually from the author of the book Pursuing Happiness. And these are supplementary resources just for chapter 5 of that book. So you'll see here, I actually have the citations that you need for each of the 4 main articles that we have that I assigned for you in this course. Those are in the boxes here. And then under each, there is a list of several supplementary resources that may be helpful for you when you go and do your synthesis/critique essay. Each one contains links to the author's personal website. There might be articles that the author has written or articles that are related. You'll see here under Konnikova, her personal website, then an article she wrote for the New Yorker, Did Facebook Hurt People's Feelings? This was in 2014, so a year after she wrote the 2013 article. There's an article that said, You asked, is social media making me miserable? This is from Time Magazine. So you'll see each of these have a list of interesting articles that may be related. There may be TED Talks or YouTube videos that are related. This one here has a TED Talk on what makes a good life lesson. What makes a good life? Lessons from the longest study on happiness. That's from Robert Waldinger. An NPR. This is a podcast. So we have a multimedia, not just things that you have to read through, but also things that you can watch and listen to. A YouTube video from Paul Miller, A Year Offline, What I Have Learned. This might actually be related to the person that McWilliams was referring to in his article, Saving the Self in the Age of the Selfie. So that might be very interesting to watch. Another YouTube video, You Are Not a Gadget. And under Sherry Turkle, there are a few things here. Why did I did include, okay. There's several articles and YouTube videos from Sherry Turkle. And a TED Talk called Connected But Alone. This is actually a talk that I use in one of my classes that I teach at Cincinnati State. It's a very interesting one, even though it's from 2012. And then there are some other articles that I found on my own that I just included here. They're a little bit more on the scholarly side, so they can be a little more dense, a little harder to dig through, but I found them to be kind of interesting. So I thought I'd post them there for you to take a look at. And this is just information that I included there at the bottom. So that's the supplemental thingamajigger. Sorry about that. Okay. The next thing we have here is a tutorial from a textbook called The Hub. The Hub is an English textbook that I considered using for this class, but then I decided to just switch to all online resources for the 7-week session instead of making you pay for a textbook. So you're welcome for that. But this is a tutorial on synthesis. Peter Abrams has been teaching for a really long time, and he wrote this book called The Hub that helps students get through the nitty-gritty of learning how to write academic essays. So there's a tutorial here on synthesis, so you can read through that. And then another one that is called Synthesis Essays, a step-by-step guide. And this is just a link to a guide on the internet. You may get a pop-up for this page. I'm not sure. Every once in a while, I'll have something that pops up, but you just X out of it. But this is also a helpful thing. And it's similar to Abram's tutorial. And it gives you tips on organizing the essay and that kind of thing. So that's it for the readings. Let's move on to the to-do list. You're watching this video. We talked about the readings. There is also a video and a page that I have for thesis statements, another on revision and editing from Crash Course, and then citations and quotes from Crash Course. Those will deal with things that you need to learn how to do. And then choose 2 resources from your chosen article to use for your synthesis paper. Then there's a discussion board that's voluntary. This is, again, a peer review that is optional. If you choose to take part of it, have your work in progress posted by July 13th. And then if you do a review, have that done by the 15th. We have the writer's memo, just like we did with the rhetorical analysis, and that's due Saturday the 16th, with the synthesis and critique paper due on the 17th. So I recorded that first section, and in the middle of it was a tornado warning that came out of nowhere. I don't know if you could hear the thunder rumbling and noticed my distraction as I was getting notification on my phone and trying to wrap up quickly the first part of this video. Anyway, let me continue on with the week 4 overview. So I will walk you through the rest of the materials. So this is the All About Thesis Statements page. There's a video that's only about 10 minutes long that talks about the handout below and talks a bit about thesis statements, why they're important, and that kind of thing. So this is a very important page of information to learn about thesis statements and to incorporate thesis statements into your introductions. I'm not going to talk through the whole thing since I already did that in the video. But you'll see here down at the bottom that there are some templates, or what I say here is a formula for success templates that can help you to develop a working thesis. So take a look at that. And there's a couple of links at the bottom there. There are a few more crash course videos. I think this series was really, really well done. Very helpful information, and it takes the pressure off of me to develop new lectures when there's some quality stuff out there already. So this is on revision and editing. These are 2 videos from Crash Course. There's also the revision and editing checklist that you can download. And then the next page is a video on citations and quotes. And I have a little reminder down here at the bottom. This is swag. You'll see this in the video and what those letters stand for, because I think it's kind of a helpful abbreviation or acronym to help you to remember things when you are quoting or citing. And then we have the optional discussion board. Again, the work in progress, should you choose to upload it, should be in by Wednesday, July 13th. And if you do any reviews, please try to have those done by Friday, July 15th, so your peers will have time to revise based on feedback that they get. This next page is MLA Citations. This is actually in the instructor view. I don't have the week open yet, so I can't switch to student view, but I'll take you through and just tell you what you need to do. So you need to take a look at the materials on MLA citation tips, in-text citations and works cited basics, and the MLA in-text citation lecture that were presented in week 3. So it should review that stuff. You can also find information at Purdue OWL on MLA style, and this is a link that will take you to that website. And it's very helpful information. You can use the left sidebar to navigate through the topics to find the information you need. Each question for this quiz is displayed one at a time. And after you choose your answer, click next to proceed to the following question. When you've answered all 10 questions, be sure that you click on Submit Quiz down at the bottom of the page. You have 3 attempts to complete the quiz, and you'll see your answers. You'll be able to see which answers are correct or incorrect after each attempt, with the correct answers being displayed after your final attempt. I would like you to do this quiz by Thursday, July 14th. Of course, you do have a few days leeway, but it's always helpful to get things out of the way before you have to get working on your paper. Next is the writer's memo for the synthesis critique essay. Same list of questions that you want to look through. Same rubric as the one before. And then we have the page for the synthesis / critique essay final revision. I did a little preview video explaining the assignment a little better than what's written out here, I hope. It's only about 6 minutes long, so it's not very long to sit through at all. But also read through the information here. There are some links to access additional resources if you don't want to use the ones that are listed in the supplementary source handout that I've provided. You have a link to the UC Library database, which will prompt you to log in with your UC credentials, or you can also go to Google Scholar to search for sources. I'm going to open that up just for a second. And let me just, I'm just going to type in, does technology make us happy? And see if there are any articles there. And you'll see that there is a whole list of articles. Does Facebook make us happy? Happiness in an age of hyperconnectedness. This is an article from Anthropology Now. You probably won't have full access to it since it's from Taylor and Francis, and it's really hard to gain access to their stuff if you don't have an account. I will say up front, please, please, please do not ever pay for an article. You should be able to access it through the UC library. They have some really great databases, and you can look up things in Google Scholar, and then you see what's there, and then you can look for it in your UC database, and you should be able to gain access to it. If it's something that you really, really want, you can always reach out to a resource librarian, and they should be able to secure it for you. If you find something that you're like, oh, this would be great for my final paper, my research paper, you just need a little bit of lead time so that the librarian can secure that article or that piece of information for you. But don't pay for things. Don't pay for articles at the New York Times unless you want to pay for a subscription, or any other newspaper unless you want to pay for a subscription for yourself. But don't do it for this class. So you'll see here a list of articles, and then over here there's some links, right? So this one has a PDF at academia.edu. I happen to have an Academia account. I can click on that and I'd be able to access. I think it's probably accessible for anybody. You wouldn't need an account, but you can always try and click on the links. Technology and fun for a happy old age. This is from Springer. Again, links to the PDF. So sometimes it'll link to your local database if you have it synced up. I'll just open this for you just so you know what the UC Library proxy login is. And then, you know, just like you log into Canvas and Catalyst and all of the stuff that you see, then it'll take you to this EBSCOhost web page. And You can, again, just type in your search terms. Search. Oh, no results were found. Let me choose a database. Oh, okay, academic search complete. How about that? Technology and happiness. There. And then you come up with a whole bunch of links. Some of them are to newspapers, some are academic journals. And then over here in the left-hand sidebar, you can, if you want to be linked to full text, you can limit your search there. You can limit the years. Say you want to just have things from the past 5 years. No, past, let's 10 years. Do the past 10 years. And then here, if you want to limit yourself to academic journals, you can do that. Or newspapers, you can do that as well. And then you just refine your search more and more. And then you just take a look through. Usually you can find the full text somewhere. There might be links for a PDF, full text, or a website, what have you. So the brain conditions mediate the association between aging and happiness. Uncertainty increases curiosity, but decreases happiness. These all seem to be about happiness and not quite so much about technology, but you can play around. It's a pretty cool thing to play with. So that is the EBSCOhost Academic Search Complete. So minimum of 1,000 words, which is roughly 3 to 4 MLA formatted pages. Again, there's a link to remind you what MLA format actually is. You should have 3 sources cited. One will be your original article that you've chosen, and 2 additional sources. You should revise and submit your final essay by July 17th. So if you want me to take a look at your essay prior to that and provide you with some feedback, if you have a rough draft or if you just have some questions about how things are going with your writing, please send it to me. You can submit it for this assignment. You can just, well, if I had student view, you would just submit assignment and you can just submit your rough draft, because you will always have the opportunity to resubmit. You have unlimited submissions for each of these writing assignments, because I believe firmly in having multiple opportunities to revise and refine your writing. So you can always submit and resubmit. Even past the due date. As long as you have the initial paper in for the due date, you can always resubmit, and I'll take a look at things. And that just tells me that you care enough to put the effort in, and that's going to improve your grade. So that is it for week 4. If you have any questions, you know how to get in touch with me.